Yo, what's up everybody? So today I'm going to be quickly going through my 9.6 mid lane SoloQ tier list. I'm going to be running you through some of the newer champions appearing, which is the Morgana and the Kayle, and just breaking down why some champions are stronger than others and what champions you can abuse for some life points on 9.6. So jumping straight into my S tiers and my pick of the patch, that's Ahri mid. I think that as a lot of the other mages and champions lose damage, Ahri becomes more and more relevant. Even though she doesn't pack that much of a punch with the damage numbers, she offers so much utility, especially with the Glacial Augment. It actually saw play in the LPL, the Chinese League, yesterday or the day before, I believe. And it's doing very well when it comes to the numbers and statistics in SoloQ right now. Has one of the best win rates. It's super easy, super casual to play. That GLP Spooky Ghost combo is insane. I definitely recommend giving it a go. Moving across now is to the Malzahar. It's a no-brainer pick, guys. Below Diamond, this is going to be your go-to. Super easy to pick up, really easy to get picks in the mid game as well. Packs a punch in the late game, has a silence, offers really everything you need in a mid laner. So if you're looking for an off-roll champion or just something new to pick up, go with that Malzahar in this patch. Moving down now is to the Zoe, who did see nerfs this patch actually. She got her Sleepy Bubble Trouble. The cooldown is increased by 4 seconds at level 1, and I think it ends up being 2 seconds additionally at level 5. This definitely isn't that big of a nerf. Zoe is still relevant. The slow on the bubble is actually decreased, which means that they can move further away when you bubble them. So that's gonna mean you're gonna be getting more damage as well with your Qs. So even though it's a slight nerf, and it is a nerf, Zoe is still super strong and an S tier pick on this patch. Moving across now to my Vladimir. Vladimir moved up from A to S tier this patch. Not necessarily because of buffs, it's more so because of the whole mid lane pool as a whole is slowly getting nerfed. And Vladimir is just one of those picks that's going to slowly creep up, and especially in those mid to late game team fights, you're just going to roll over an entire team. You're seeing in pro play right now, Vladimir top is having a high priority and just steamrolling over games and carrying them. You can bring this into the mid lane. Be careful of things like the Orianna and the Cassiopeia, of course. But other than that, man, you're going to be having a great time in that Vladimir on 9.6. Rounding off my last 3 picks for my S tiers is some mobility champions. We've got the Kassadin, we've got the Talon, we have the Sylas. Sylas saw a nerf to his W this patch. It's nowhere near enough to cancel this champion out from being S tier. He's almost God tier. His W was nerfed, but the thing is right now, everybody, all the good mid laners are pretty much maxing Q on the Sylas. They have like a Protobelt, Lichbane, Deathcat build, full AP. It's nowhere near enough to put it into the A or B tiers, guys. Sylas super strong this patch. Talon, as always, your best AD pick right now. Great roamer. Get that Tiamat rush, move into the side lanes. And of course, Kassadin, you're going to be countering things like the Zoe. You can pick it into the Ahri. You can pick into a lot of these control mages and just do fucking work into those later stages of the game. Shuffling across now to my A tiers. 2 champions up there, the Morgana and the Corki, moving up from the Bs and the Cs. Morgana, of course, got reworked. The rework is very beneficial to the champion in the mid lane. Glacial Augment currently has a 54 or 55% win rate globally on Morgana. Once again, like the Ahri, you got the GLP, the Spooky Ghosts. You set them up, you slow them, you get that Q for the Morgana, 3-second snare. Your W got a huge buff, especially to targets who are missing health. And I reckon give this Morgana a go if you're looking for something very simple in the mid lane. And of course, Corki, this patch, guys, his win rates have been slowly moving up, and this is probably just mainly due to most of the mid lane pool coming down. And of course, this patch, Corki. I'm gonna spend $1 million. I'm gonna get every single account, I'm gonna get that skin. I really hope it has good sound animations. Can't wait to play it. Gonna buy every chroma, give them all a go. That's probably the biggest excitement for me this patch, no doubt. One champion I'm a little bit suspicious of this patch is gonna be the Twisted Fate. They've actually buffed and nerfed Minion Dematerializer. So I think it's gonna be an indirect buff to champions like the Twisted Fate who want to use one ability to clear out a minion line. So TFQ in the patch before at level 9, sometimes you can get those backline range creeps in one shot and sometimes you couldn't. Now with the Minion Dematerializer, you only get 3 stacks rather than 6, and you can actually get more percentage damage to these minions, these backlines. So it's going to be super interesting. You're going to have less lane control with Minion Demon, but more damage to minions. So the champions that use them who help their abilities clear, it's going to be beneficial. The champions that use them to kind of control the mid lane, it's going to be a nerf. So we're going to see how Twisted Fate goes on 9.6. I'm hoping that it's going to be a buff. Last champion I'll touch on for my A tiers is LeBlanc. LeBlanc saw a nerf to the Q. She got 0.1 AP ratio off of the Q. This is going to be taking away a bit of her burst in her combos. If you go for the QR combo, of course, you're losing even more damage. And this is even after those W nerfs that came through a couple of patches ago. So I think that LeBlanc is definitely slowly falling out of flavor. In saying that, the champion is still fine in solo queue. I put it in A tier, and it's definitely one of the better A tier picks. But right now, it just doesn't have that massive punch that you used to have, where you can just one-shot the AD carry. Especially with these champions that have a lot of shields, or these supports like Lulu that keep on appearing, or Morgana. It just makes it harder to one-shot these ADs. And if you don't one-shot them, they're just gonna run you down, one-shot you. You're gonna really struggle in the mid to late game to farm, get in a side lane. And yeah, so definitely one to watch out for is LeBlanc on this patch. I think it's still strong, but nowhere near as strong as it was maybe at the start of the season. Moving down now to my B tiers, okay? One champion that I need you guys to watch is the Kayle. Now, I know people don't like Kayle. They think Kayle's shit. They think Kayle's memey. This patch, in my opinion, fucking huge buff to Kayle. They nerfed the numbers, but they gave it a much better... The kit is so much more smooth. I think a critical strike build is gonna come up as the best build right now. Beforehand, you could not crit with your E, and your E was not a proper auto attack reset. Now, you can crit with your E, like your empowered E, and you can insta auto attack reset, man. You can auto E, you can get a double crit, and you'll just fucking obliterate. I'm calling it. I think Kayle might be one of the best picks in the top lane this patch. When it comes to mid lane, there's a lot of matchups like control mages that it's just a no-go. Do not run Kayle mid unless you're into something relatively easy like the Fizz, like the Echo, the short range champions that you do so well into. Even the Vladimir you could probably do well. But if you're looking to play this into something, probably something like the Mal's, the Ahri, what else? The Orianna, Cassiopeia, it's just, don't try. But this champion I definitely think is one to watch out for this patch. Could be really strong, and I think it will be, but it's going to be more, I think it's going to be a more crit-oriented build that has the best win rates, and not an AP build at all. What else do we have in my B tiers? I think Akali is rising up slowly. It's come out of the shit tier into the B tier. I think Akali is definitely pickable. We've seen different variations to her kit. We've seen some, what's it called, like a bruiser build Akali with Triforce coming out maybe. But I still think that the AP build mid, maybe with Electrocute, into easier matchups, and then Fleet for sustain in more poke heavy matchups is going to be the go-to. And Akali definitely in pro play at least is going to see more play, 100%. What else do I need to talk about in my Bs and Cs? I'm just trying to think. I think that Syndra is very much struggling in this meta. She has literally no mobility, so she's just getting squashed by these high mobility picks and junglers. What else do we have? We have the Irelia struggling super hard in the mid lane. The Conqueror, it looked promising, and then they just demolished Conqueror and made it dog shit. So goodbye Irelia, still not up there. Urgot, I'm not sure on Urgot. They've made his W at max rank permanently do the thing. So I have no idea. I don't play Urgot. We're gonna see. It's Urgot, in my opinion, is always gonna be a better top laner than mid laner. But we might see it. Aatrox still not there. What else do we have? Galio, dog shit. Nico. Nico's okay. Nocturne mid. I love Nocturne mid, man. I still don't think it's good enough to play every game in this patch. It's more of a niche pick as a counter to things like the Zoe, the Twisted Fate. I think that's about it, boys. So thank you for watching my 9.6 mid lane solo queue tier list. Hope you've enjoyed it. And I'm going to get on to my stream. I'm going to start grinding. They've done a reset today, actually. So they've dropped all of our points. So I think I had 500 points on my account. Wiped to 0. Start again. Can't wait. It's going to be fun. Season 9 2.0. I'll see you all next time, I guess. Peace.